This is what competitive Fortnite really looks like. Fast edits, instant quick reactions, and constant decision making. One small mistake can end an entire game. I've spent multiple seasons playing at a high level, competing in tournaments, scrims, and consistently practicing against other players with the same ambitions as mine. If you enjoy Fortnite content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and use my phrase code JAYFNB in the item shop. So what does it take to compete at a high level? From mechanics to mindset, I introduce you to the inside of the mind of a Fortnite competitive player. Competitive Fortnite is played through organised tournaments ran by Epic, where players compete against others to place high on the leaderboard through strong placements and eliminations. Since the game was first created back in 2017, it has developed a global competitive scene, with events such as the World Cup offering millions in prize pools attracting the best esports players around the world. Over time, the level of competition has significantly increased, with players constantly improving, adapting to a new meta and strategies. What was once considered high skill is now known as a standard, with the overall skill gap significantly growing. In today's competitive scene, success isn't just about being good, but being consistent throughout each tournament, making right decisions, and performing under pressure is really what stands the top level out. To compete at a high level in Fortnite, players must first master the core mechanics of the game. This includes 4 major skills: building, editing, aim, and piece control, which all of this must be performed quickly and consistently under pressure. Building can be used both offensively and defensively, allowing players to protect themselves from other players while also gaining control over positioning. Editing allows players to move efficiently and create opportunities during fights, creating chances for eliminations in tournaments. One of the most important mechanics in today's Fortnite is piece control. This is where players can take control of buildings around an opponent, limiting their movement and putting them into positions that could be dangerous for them. Players with strong piece control can dictate fights, predict exactly their opponent's movement, and control the pace of engagement between another player. Aim is also another key skill. Players must be able to consistently hit shots under pressure, often in a fast-paced and unpredictable situations. The difference between strong and weak mechanics is not just about speed, but control and how exactly consistent you can be. Less experienced players are known to often panic, miss edits, miss shots, or lose control of their builds, whilst advanced players with experience remain composed and can execute their mechanics efficiently. At the highest level, these skills become a habit, allowing players to focus more on decision making rather than execution. Whilst mechanics are known as the so-called essential, decision making is what truly separates competitive players from the rest. In every match, players are constantly assessing their situation, including their exact position on the map, how much materials they have, and where exactly they need to rotate to. One of the important decisions is knowing when to take a fight and when to disengage from one, or just to avoid fighting completely. Taking fights that may not even be needed can result in a loss of health, materials, or potentially the worst of it, which is being eliminated. Whilst choosing the perfect moment to engage can give players a significant advantage over their opponents. Rotations are another key aspect of decision making. Players must move between zones efficiently whilst maintaining strong positioning on the map. Rotation too early could potentially lead to a loss of materials, while rotating too late may result being caught up in storm or focused by other opponents. Positioning also plays a major role, especially in endgame scenarios where space is limited and every subtle movement matters most. Players must constantly adapt to their surroundings, making quick decisions to keep them safe and in positions that can be an advantage from other players. In team-based modes, such as trios or duos for the season, players must take on specific roles. The IGL, also known as the in-game leader, is responsible for making the most decisions such as rotations and the exact strategies for each game, whilst the other player, often referred to as fraggers, focus on securing eliminations and applying pressure on opponents. Another advanced aspect of competitive Fortnite is Storm Surge. In certain games where there's too many people in set zones, Storm Surge will activate, requiring players to deal damage, but to also avoid taking damage themselves. This then forces them to balance aggression with survival. At the highest level of players, all these decisions are made within seconds, even with intense pressure. The ability to consistently make the right decisions is what separates an average player to a top tier competitive player. Behind every Fortnite competitive player is hours of training and repetition. Improvement does not come from just playing matches, but focusing more on specific skills and consistently working to develop them. Many players use creative maps to train different aspects of their gameplay. For example, free building is used to improve speed, movement, and overall control on building. Edit courses are commonly used to develop faster and allow the player to adapt more consistent edits. This will then allow them to perform these actions quickly under pressure from opponents. Box fights are another important training method as they simulate real, in-game fights and helps players improve specifically their mechanics in realistic situations against opponents. Another essential method is aim training, helping improve players' accuracy, reaction time, and consistency when taking shots under intense pressure. Through repetition, these skills become almost automatic. This allows the player to focus more on decision making during matches than simple basic mechanics. However, as you may know, improvement requires discipline. You must be consistent with your training, and you must be willing to spend time developing and improving your weaknesses. Progress on any game isn't an instant. It is built over time through dedication and effort. In competitive Fortnite, mindset plays just as an important role as mechanical skills. Players are constantly placed in a high-pressured situation where one mistake could end it all. This pressure led by other opponents or tournaments can lead to panic, poor decision-making, missed opportunities, especially during the most intense moments such as endgame scenarios. To perform consistently, players must remain calm, focused, and confident in their abilities. They need to be able to make quick decisions without any hesitation, even when under pressure from players and the general environment around them. Another key part of mindset is the ability to recover from mistakes made. In competitive matches, not everything goes to plan, and the players must be able to adapt quickly rather than drop and lose all focus. Maintaining a strong mental state allows players to stay in control of their gameplay even throughout the most difficult situations. At the highest level, mindset is known to what separates good players from great players, allowing them to consistently perform when it matters most. Competitive Fortnite is more than just a game. This game requires a combination of mechanical skills, smart decision making, consistent practice, and a strong mindset. Each of these aspects of competitive Fortnite plays a role in shaping what exactly it truly takes to compete at a high level. As the scene continues to grow, the level of skill and competition will only increase, forcing players to constantly improve and adapt. In the end, success in competitive comes down to dedication on how much you really want it, consistency, and ability to perform under immense pressure.